Let us continue our journey in the solving of MCQs of basic course in biomedical research. Now let us start the 17th chapter, that is data management. To start with the first question, question number 1. Steps in data management include what? Options are A. Defining a variable, creating a study database and a dictionary, or B. Enter the data, correct the errors and create the dataset for analysis, or C. Backup and archive the datasets, or D. All of the above. So what are the steps in the data management include? The answer for this question is that option number D is the correct answer. That is, all the above options are correct. Let us see the above options. Defining a variable, creating a study database and dictionary. B is enter the data, correct the errors and create the dataset for analysis. Third one is backup and archive the dataset. Now see the chart below. Now the data management will include all these steps. Number 1, define variables. 2 is create the study database and data dictionary. Third will be data entry and correct the errors. Fourth will be create the data set for analysis. And fifth is backup and the archiving the data set. Now let us see in our question what they have mentioned. Defining a variable, creating a study database and dictionary. So defining a variable, creating a study database and a data dictionary was in the first point. Okay. Then second, enter the data, correct the errors and create dataset for analysis. Enter the data, correct the errors and create dataset for analysis were in the second point. Third is backup and archive the dataset. Then backup and archive the dataset was in the third. So this was A, this was B and this was C. So therefore, I request all the doctors or people appearing for this examination to keep or to go through this chart again and again and again, so that you will have an idea what is mentioned in this data management. Next question. When we are creating variable name, it should be, options are A. Clearly understandable and should refer to the questionnaire. B. Long and can have spaces. C. Consistent and without duplicates, or D. Both A and C are correct. The answer for this question is option number D, that is A and C are correct. So once again let us see the statements. When we are creating variable name, it should be A, that is clearly understandable and should refer to the questionnaire, and C, that is it should be consistent and without duplicates. Long and can have spaces is wrong, that is the wrong statement. Okay, chalo see this chart. This chart is regarding pertaining to the creating variable names. Okay, so the first point what they mentioned was clearly understandable and should refer to the questionnaire. See this point, it should be clearly understandable and need to refer to the questionnaire item, and it is understandable. So this was the first, or A, option number A, which is being clearly mentioned over here. Okay, then chalo, then option number C, consistent and without duplicates. It should be consistent and it should not have any duplicates. Even these two were mentioned. So we have taken A and C as the answer. Now why not B? Because B option they gave it as long and can have spaces, whereas the truth is that when creating variable items, it should be short and there should not be any space. It should be short and no space, because most of the softwares will require less than 10 characters. So therefore it should be short and no space. Okay, but they have mentioned long and can have spaces, so therefore we have not taken this as the answer. Next question. In a data management system, each row will represent what? A. Variable. B. Record. C. Is heading. Or D. Is appendix. So what is the answer for this question? R for rows. R for records. Please remember this point. R. Okay, chalo. So R is the answer. You see the chart of the data management system. See over here. Now see this basic structure of the database. The lines will represent records. Lines are nothing but rows. Okay. Whereas the columns will represent variables. Columns will represent variables. These are the lines or the rows. So these are representing records, record number 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So we got the answer for this question. Please remember this question and the answer. Next question. What is or are the specifications that we need to check before doing data entry? Before doing data entry, chalo. The options are A. Minimum and maximum values, legal codes and skip patterns. B. Record the name and description of the record. C. Automatic coding, coping data from preceding record and calculations. So what are the specifications that we need to check before doing data entry? So let us see the options again. Minimum and maximum values, legal codes and skip patterns. Yes, this is the correct statement. Record the name and description of the record. No, this is not correct. The automatic coding and coping data from preceding record and calculations. Yes, even this is correct. So option number D, A and C are correct. Now let us see the chart. See this slide. It is speaking regarding the checking of specifications before data entry. The first point itself, it mentioned minimum and maximum values, which is there in our question. The first option or the A option was minimum and maximum values. Then legal codes and skip patterns. They have spoken regarding the legal codes. They have mentioned the skip patterns also. Okay, so we got the option number A. Then next, option number B was record name and description of the record, which is not mentioned in this chart. Third one is automatic coding, then copying the data from preceding the records and calculations is also mentioned. Now see over here, automatic coding, copying the data from preceding record and calculations is mentioned as option number C. So we took the answer as A and C, that is option number D. Okay, chalo. Let us see the next question. What does data anonymization mean? What does data anonymization mean? The options are A. Deleting the data, or B. Removing, identifying the information from the data, or C. Storing the data securely, or D. Collecting the data from multiple sources. Data anonymity or anonymization means removing the identifying information from the data. Okay, you do this exercise and then it goes under data anonymization. Let us see the next question. Key elements of data management are what? Options are A. Data structure and data entry, B. Individual and aggregated databases, or C. Mother and daughter databases. So what are the key elements of data management? You have data structure and data entry. Yes, this is correct. Then you have individual and aggregated databases. Yes, even this is correct. Then you have mother and daughter databases. Then even this is correct. So therefore all of the above are correct. Mother and daughter databases come under what is called as parent child databases. Okay, parent child databases actually. So see the chart. See the key elements of data management. They are number 1 data structure, number 2 data entry, then number 3 individual and aggregated databases, and 4 is mother and daughter databases. From our question, this is our question. Data structure and data entry they have mentioned, individual and aggregated databases they have mentioned, mother and daughter databases also they have mentioned. So therefore we took option number D as all of the above as the answer for this question. Next question. The design of data collection instrument is what? The design of data collection instrument is what? Options are A. Data entry friendly. The data entry should be friendly in the sense. B is outline of the major data collection topics or item. C is auto coding function should be available, or all of the above. The design of data collection instrument should be, options are that it is A. Data entry friendly. Okay, it is correct statement. Second statement, outline of major data collection topics and items. Yes, even this is correct. And third one, auto coding function should be available. Yes, even this is correct. So therefore all of the above are correct. So the design of data collection instrument will contain all. Now see the chart below. In this slide we speak about the designing of the data entry, which is a friendly data collection instrument. So what will happen over here? You will have outline and you will have auto coding function. in which again you will have identifiers, you will have demographics, you will have outcomes, and you will have exposures. In our question, they have mentioned regarding data entry friendly. Secondly, they have mentioned outline of major data collection topics and items. Then you have the outline part. Then thirdly, they have mentioned regarding the auto coding function. So even auto coding function is mentioned over here. So therefore, the answer for this question is option number D. So you please remember this question and the answer, and definitely this slide. Next question. When we are coding for data entry, we should do what? Data entry codings. The options are A. Prefer the numerical coding. B. Use highly complex codes. C is decide on the codes for missing values and not applicable items, or D that both A and C are correct. So when we are coding for data entry, we should prefer definitely numerical coding. Yes, this is correct. Use highly complex codes. No, you will not use complex codes. Then let us see whether it is C or not. You will decide on codes for missing values and not applicable items. Yes, definitely you will have codes for missing values. So therefore option number D, that is A and C, are correct. Now let us see a small slide on the coding part. Now see this slide on the coding part. Okay, you prefer numerical coding, you decide on the missing values and not applicable values. Missing values are generally 9, 99 and 999. Not applicable values are 8, 98 and 998. Okay, then you avoid cumbersome codes or difficult codes. You avoid. In the option what they gave use highly complex codes, but they have said to avoid the cumbersome or the complex codes. Then use lastly you will have use as 1 or 0 as baseline for the gradients. For the gradients, that is yes oblique no or present oblique absent, and as appropriate depending on the software for analysis. So this is regarding the medical coding or coding. So therefore we got the answer for our question. Next question. When information is available at various levels, that is at the level of village, household, individual and illnesses episode, so we can store the information at each level in separate databases and link whenever it is necessary. Is this a true statement or a false statement? We know definitely it is a true statement. At various levels, at each level and separate databases is what is called as mother and daughter database. We have just seen. Okay, mother and daughter database, also called as parent child database. Parent child database. Okay, chalo. Please remember this question and this answer. The next question. Which of the following is or are not true about normalized database? The options are A. The normalized database facilitates further regression, or B. It has only one count per record, one count by record, or C. The normalized database does not facilitate further data aggregation, or D. That option A and B are correct. So the question was, what is not true? That means other statements are correct. Let us see the statements again. The normalized database facilitates further aggregation. Yes, this is a correct statement. And second is, it has only one count by record. Yes, even this is correct statement. Then third one, that the normalized database does not facilitate further data aggregation. See, this is a wrong statement, because normalized database will facilitate further data aggregation. It is not, does not. Okay, so therefore we got the answer for our question, that is option number C. Now see the chart on this individual and aggregated databases. See, regarding the individual database, that each record is an observation. Regarding the aggregated databases is that it the records contain counts, and the normalized databases is only one count by record, and it facilitates further aggregation. As in the question, the normalized databases should facilitate further aggregation, but they have mentioned does not. Therefore we have taken option number C as the answer, because they have asked what is not true regarding the normalized database. The other statements, that the normalized database facilitates further aggregation, yes, it facilitates further aggregation itself is correct. And then the second point, that it has only one count by record, thus it has only one count by record. So this is regarding the normalized database. So we got the answer for our question. Please remember the question and the answer. Next question. What is data visualization? The options are A, the process of collecting the data, or B, the representation of data in graphical formats, or C, the analysis of raw data, or D, the storage of data. So what is data visualization? Data visualization is nothing but it is the representation of data in graphical formats. Representation of data in graphical formats. Please remember the question and the answer. Next, data documentation includes information about the following items. The options are A, structure alone, or B, storage information, or C, you have structure, you have variables, you have history, and then you have storage information, or D, you have only structure, storage information, and variables. Now it is a very confusing question because the number of what do you say options are more. So what does data documentation include? The answer for this question is option number C, that is structure, you have variables, then you have history, and then you have storage information. Now let us see a small chart on this data documentation. Now see this slide regarding data documentation. It speaks regarding the structure, regarding the variables, regarding the history, regarding the storage information, and regarding the additional information. Structure, variables, history, storage information, and additional information. In our question, you have in the option number C the structure, the variables, then you have the history, then you have the storage information. Also there should be additional information. Okay, so we got the answer for our question. Next question, a variable name should be what? Options are A, clearly understandable and should refer to the questionnaire. B, it should be short and no space. C, it should be consistent and without any duplicates. So out of these three options, what are correct or all are correct? Let us see the options again. A variable name should be clearly understandable and should refer to a questionnaire. Yes, this is true. It should be short without any spaces. Yes, even this is true. It should be consistent and without any duplicates. Yes, even this is true. So therefore, all the above are correct statements. I think we have spoken regarding the variable name creation. Let us see the slide again. See this slide. This we have spoken again for the second. We are speaking for the second time. Okay. Now it is the variable name should be clearly understandable and should refer to the questionnaire. It should be understandable and should be referring to the questionnaire. See this point, we have got it. In the second point, it should be short with no space because most of the softwares will require less than 10 characters. Therefore, it should be short and no space. And third option was it should be consistent and without any duplicates. It should be consistent and without any duplicates. So therefore, we got the answer for our question. I request all the readers to please have a good idea regarding creating the variable name slide. Next question. The design of data entry can be broadly outlined as how? The steps are or the options are A, identifier, demographics, outcome and exposure, or informed consent, identifier and demographics, or option number C, identifier, demographics, outcome and data analysis plan. Then the fourth option is informed consent, identifier, demographics, outcome and data analysis plan. So what is the correct answer for this question? The answer for this question is option number A. The design of data entry can be broadly outlined as only identifier, demographics, outcome and exposure. Outcomes and exposure. Now see the information in this chart. See over here regarding the design data entry. We have spoken this previously also. In the outline part, you have identifiers, you have demographics, you have outcomes, and then you have exposures. Identifier, demographic, outcome, and exposures. Okay. So therefore, we got the answer for our question. The next question. All of the following are true about coding a new variable except what? The options are A, prefer the numerical coding, B, Decide on missing values while coding. C. Avoid cumbersome codes. D. Coding with 0 and 1 should be avoided for dichotomous variables. So all are true except. So therefore, three options are correct except one option. Let us see the options again. A. Prefer the numerical coding is correct statement. B. Decide on missing values while coding is also correct statement. C. Avoid cumbersome codes is also correct. And D. Coding with 0 and 1 should be avoided for dichotomous variables. Why should you avoid it? You use codings. So we got the answer for our question. We'll have a small look at the chart of the coding. We have seen this previously also. See over here, as in our question, they have asked you prefer the numerical coding, then you decide on missing values also, then you avoid the cumbersome codes, and coding with 0 and 1 you use as 0 and 1, coding with use 0 and 1, but in the question they have asked that coding with 0 and 1 should be avoided. So it is not avoided. It is advised that we use this 0 and 1. So therefore we got the answer for our question. Next question. Data entry can be considered as an opportunity to partially clean the data. Yes, this is definitely a true statement. See this chart. In the data entry part, what they have spoken is you use as opportunity for partial data cleaning. This was one question where you write the comments and see clarification. Then you use the checks. Then you mark each paper as data entry is completed and then validate after data entry. So this is regarding data entry. As far as our question is concerned, our question they have spoken that the data entry can be considered as an opportunity to partially clean the data. So in the first statement itself of data entry, you use as an opportunity for partially data cleaning. So therefore we got the answer for our question. Next question. Which of the following is not a data storage option? Not a data storage options. The options are A. Cloud storage. B is hard disk or hard drives. C is spreadsheets, or D is printed documents. For every data, you have either a storage, definitely, you either have hard disks, you either have printed documents, but no spreadsheets. So therefore, this is the answer for our question. Okay, which of the following is not a data storage option? So therefore, spreadsheets are not used for storing of data. Okay, for storing of data. Chalo, not used. Next question. While documenting the storage information of the database, we need to document what? Options are A. Investigators information. B. Time, place, person information. C. Is media location and backup information. Or D. Hardware configuration. The answer is that option number C, that is media, location and backup information. So we need to document all these things. Let us have a small look on the data documentation. See this chart on data documentation. We have already spoken regarding it, and see this part of the storage information where you are speaking regarding the media, the location and the backup. And the question, while documenting the storage information of the database, we need to document the media, the location and the backup. So therefore, option number C is the answer for our question. Next question. Which of the following is incorrect in relation to the data catalog? Incorrect in relation to the data catalog. That means three options are correct, one is wrong. Let us see the options. Option number A. It describes all the variables for any future reference. B. It is useful if we share the data with others. C. It is useful to know how a variable has been coded. Or D. It is advisable to exclude the missing values from data catalog. So what is incorrect? The incorrect part is that it is advisable to exclude the missing values. To exclude the missing values from data catalog is wrong, because the correct statement will be like you include the missing values. You have to include the missing values. Include the missing values. Next question. Which of the following is false about unique identifier? Unique identifier. Options are A. It can be it can be same for more than one participant in a study, or B, it can be alphanumeric, or C, it can be a composite number, or D, it can be used to maintain the anonymity of participants. So which of the following is false about unique identifier? Let us see the options again. It can be same for more than one participant. No, this itself is wrong. It is false. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. Let us see the other options. It can be alphanumeric. Yes. It can be a composite number. Yes. It can be used to maintain the anonymity of participant. Yes. See this chart of using codes within the unique identifier. The unique identifier may contain all the information about that particular ID, and each digit or set of digits refer to a specific information. Like one is for village, 2 street, house and person. Example, first and second is digit. Okay. So in our question, which of the following is false? The false part is that it can be same for more than one participant in the study is a false statement, because it cannot be same for one participant, because each participant will have a unique, that is why it is called as unique identifier. The unique identifier may contain all the information about that particular ID, that only for one person one ID, one person one ID, please remember. So that is why it is called as unique. The uniqueness in that it is for only one person. Uniqueness is for one person only. So therefore we got the answer for our question. Next question. Which of the following is not a quality assurance measure in designing a data entry form? Options are A, using legal values, B, using minimum and maximum, C, avoiding the skip patterns, or D, use of automatic coding. This is a repeated question. We have seen this previously. Here they are asking which is not a quality assurance of measure in designing a data entry form. So the answer for this question is avoiding skip patterns is not a quality assurance. You always you will allow the skip patterns. If you check the specifications before data entry, we have spoken this previously. You will have the legal values. You will have using minimum and maximum. Then you will have a word on skip patterns, and you use the automatic coding. See the slide below. See in this slide, as I have told you, this is regarding the checking the specifications before data entry. You have minimum and maximum value, you have legal codes, you have skip patterns, you have automatic coding. But in the question they were asking whether to avoid skip patterns. So we said no need of avoiding the skip patterns. See this question. Okay. So we got the answer for our question. Next question. In a data management system, each column represents what? Options are A, variable, B is record, C is heading, or D is appendix. If you can remember, we had a similar type of question previously where they have asked in the data management question that each row represents what? We said R for row and R for record. Now they are asking regarding the column. Rows are in this way. Okay. Columns will be in this way. So each column will represent what? Each column will represent a variable. Each column will represent a variable. Okay. Please remember this answer. Let us see the next question. Which of the following is false about mother-daughter database? The options are A, information is collected at various levels. B, information of each level is stored in a different database. C, they can be linked by a common index identifier. Or D, each database cannot have its own unique identifier system. So which is false they have asked. Let us see the options again. The information is collected at various levels. Yes, it is a true statement. Information of each level is stored in a different database. Yes, even this is correct. They can be linked by a common index identifier. Yes, even this is correct. And lastly, that each database cannot have is wrong actually, because each database can have its own unique identifier system. So therefore, this is the answer for this question. See the slides below. This is one slide regarding the mother and daughter databases, where it has mentioned that the information is available at various levels. In the question also they have asked information is collected at various levels. Then secondly, information of each level is stored in a different database. Here the storage information at each level in separate databases. Okay, so both the things are available. The next option it was mentioned is like they can be linked by a common index identifier. To link databases together with identifiers. Okay. Then another slide we have on this mother and daughter databases. Okay. You have this statement. See, link these relational databases using a common index identifier. So this was mentioned as option number C. And the last option, that each database can have its own unique. See over here, each database has its own unique identifier. So this is the correct statement actually, but in the question they have asked that, they have mentioned that each database cannot have its own unique identifier system. So therefore we have selected this as the answer. Next question, state whether true or false. Coding with 0 and 1 should be avoided for dichotomous variables. This is a repeated question and definitely it is a false statement, because coding with 0 and 1 you always do for dichotomous variables. Next question, which of the following is false about a data dictionary? We have spoken regarding the data dictionary previously also. Let us see the options. That it is created after the data entry is started, or B, it contains the values assigned to the variables, or C, it gives a brief description to the variables, or D, that it links the variables in a database to the questionnaire. We have seen a slide on the data dictionary where it speaks that it links the variables in a database to a questionnaire. Yes, this is correct. It gives a brief description of the variables. Yes, even this was correct. Then it contains the values assigned to the variables is also correct. But that it is created after the data entry is started is wrong, because the dictionary is always created before the data entry started. Okay, so we got the answer for our question. Next question, in summing up the data management, which of the following is incorrect? The options are A. The options are enter data using quality assurance, B, merge the files while needed, C, code the database alphabetically, or D, relate the files when needed. So which is incorrect? Let us see the options again. You enter the data using quality assurance. Yes, definitely. You merge the files while needed. Yes, even this is correct. You code the database alphabetically. No, this is wrong, because uh, it is not alphabetically. It is numerically and in a chronological manner. Okay. So this is the answer for this question. And you relate the files when needed. Yes, even this is correct. You relate the files when needed. Let us see the next question. In the basic structure of database, the lines represent records. Is it correct or false? Yes, definitely it is true statement. We have seen this twice. This is a repeated question. Lines are nothing but rows, are nothing but records. Okay. And columns are variables. We have seen this. Previously. Chalo. Next question. In a study with 100 participants, age was recorded as a continuous variable. Okay. Then during the data entry, it was seen that age was missing in the forms for 13 people. So which of the following is true in this situation? Missing numbers, how do you code? 0, 9, 99, then 999. In this way, we have seen this previously in the previous charts. Let us see the options. Which of the following is true in this situation? A, missing values can be coded as 999. We got the answer here itself. Let us see the other options as well. The age variable should be removed from the study. No. An arbitrary value can be assigned by the data entry operator. No. And participants with missing age should be removed from the study. No. You will not remove any participant with missing age. So we got the answer for this question, as I told already. Next question, state whether true or false. While entering the systolic BP, that is the expected values between 60 to 200 value in a database, coding the missing value as 99 may lead to an erroneous result. Is this a true statement or a false statement? In the previous question itself, we have discussed that missing value is 99, but when you are entering the systolic BP, this variable is different. Systolic BP is different. Okay, where you expect value between 60 to 200 in a database, if you code the missing value as 99, it will definitely lead to an erroneous result. Okay, this is one situation where missing value of 99 will lead to an erroneous result. You please remember this question and this answer. Okay, whenever BP is asked, coding the missing value as 99 is asked, and if they say whether it is erroneous or not, definitely it is erroneous result. Please remember the answer. Next question. Identifier in the database is or are. The options are A, unique, B, maintained by a computerized index, or C, secured by quality assurance procedures, or D, all of the above. So what is the answer for this question? Identifier in the database are what? Let us see the options again. They are: identifier is unique, identifier is maintained by a computerized index, identifier is secured by quality assurance procedures. So all these three are correct. Therefore, the answer for this question is option number D. Now see the chart from the book. Now this chart is directly from the basic course of biomedical research pertaining to the data management. You have to mug up this chart. The identifier in the database is 1, unique, 2, it is maintained by the computerized index, and 3 is it is secured by quality assurance procedures. So we got the answer for our question. Next question. A postgraduate researcher has completed the data collection for her thesis. Now during data management, she should do all the following except what? So options are A, applying for the ethics committee clearance, B, create the study database, C, create the data set for analysis, D, back up the data set. So what is the answer for this question? The PG has to do all the 3 steps except the 4th step. We have to identify the 4th step. The answer for this question is option number A, that is applying for the ethics committee clearance, is wrong, because now you see, once again we will read the question. A postgraduate researcher has completed the data collection for her thesis. So now the stage is of the data management. When there is a stage of data management, you will not apply for the ethics clearance committee or ethics committee clearance. It has to be done at the priority base first, even before you start the procedure of research. Okay, so this step at this stage is wrong. So therefore, applying for ethics committee clearance is the answer for this question. The other statements, let us see. Create the study database. Yes, it is correct. Create the data set for analysis is also correct, and backup the data set is also correct at this stage. Chalo. Next question. A researcher in diabetes expected that the fasting blood sugar may take any value between 50 to 150. Okay. Then in this research, any coding of missing value as 99 may lead to an erroneous result. So missing code of 90, any coding of missing value as 99 may lead to an erroneous result. Is this a true statement or a false statement? The answer is that it is a true statement. It is a true statement. When this question comes in the examination, please mark as this is a true statement. Okay. Next question. Which data format is commonly used for storing the quantitative data? For storage, and that too the quantitative data. So the options are XML, B CSV, C is JSON, and D is PDF format. So which format is commonly used for storing quantitative data? The option is option number B. In the CSV data. In the CSV format, you store the quantitative data. Next question. A data dictionary contains variable name. Contains each variable name. Is it a true statement or a false statement? A data dictionary contains each variable name. The answer is that it is a true statement. It is a true statement. Next question. What is the primary function of a clinical data management system, that is CDMS? Okay. What is the primary function of a clinical data management system? The options are A, to analyze the clinical outcomes, or B, to manage the clinical trial data, or C, to report the adverse effects, or D, to recruit the study participants. So what is the primary function, first function of a clinical data management system? The answer for this question is option number B, that is to manage the clinical trial data. To manage the clinical trial data. Please remember this question and the answer. Next question. What does the term data life cycle refer to? We have seen the life cycle of data. Now, what does this term basically refer to? The options are A, the process of publishing research, B, the stages of data from collection to archiving, or C, the duration of a research study, or D, the use of a software in a data management. So what does the term data lifecycle refer to? The answer for this question is option number B, that is the stages of data from collection to archiving. Okay, please remember the question and the answer. Next question. Information available at various levels and information is stored at each level in a separate database. So this is seen in what? What type of database? The options are A, graphical database, B, mother and daughter database, C is key value database, or D is wide column database. So information is available at various levels and information is stored at each level in a separate database. So it is seen in what variety of database? It is seen in mother and child database, that is mother and daughter database. Please remember this point. Mother and daughter database, also called as parent child database. Parent child database. Chalo, next question. Which of the following best describes a data breach? Data breach. Options are A, unauthorized access to sensitive data, B, loss of data integrity, C, incomplete data collection, or D, data being shared among researchers. So best description of data breach is what? The answer is A, that is unauthorized access to sensitive data is called as data breach. Okay, unauthorized access to sensitive data is data breach. Okay, not data being shared. Sometimes you may feel like sharing of data is data breach. No, unauthorized, this is the word which is important. The unauthorized accessibility to sensitive data is breaching. Okay, chalo. Next question. What does data profiling involve? What does data profiling involve? The options are A, assessing the data quality and structure, B, collecting the new data, C, analyzing the data for trends, or D, documenting the data sources. So what does data profiling involve? So the answer for our question is option number A. Data profiling involves accessing the data quality and structure. Accessing the data quality and structure is called as data profiling. Data profiling. Next question. The data collection in students should be designed in a way that it facilitates a data entry. Is this a true statement or a false statement? Definitely it is a true statement. The collection has to be designed in such a way, user-friendly way, where it facilitates a direct data entry. You need not manually enter all the data again and again. One time entry should go into the respective column or the row. Okay. Chalo. Next question. State whether true or false. Data entry can be viewed as a mechanism to clean up the data to some extent. Data entry itself can be viewed as a mechanism to clean up the data to some extent. Is it a true statement or a false statement? Definitely it is a true statement. Definitely it is a true statement. Please remember the answer. Next question. In a database management system, the dictionary contains information about the following, except what? The options are A, questionnaire item, B, variable name, C is variable type, and D is the number of records. In a database management system, the dictionary will contain information about all the following except. Okay, so let us see the options again. It will contain the information regarding the questionnaire item. Yes, this is correct. Variable name. Yes, this is correct. When the variable name is given, then you should also know the variable type. So even this is correct. Number of records. No, this is not correct. Okay. So in the database management system, the dictionary will not contain the number of records. Please remember this answer. Now see this chart of constructing a data dictionary. This chart you have to keep in your minds. As per the question, in the database management system, the dictionary will contain information about the following except. So the information was description of the questionnaire item, okay, description of the variable name, question item, and description of the variable type. But there is no mentioning regarding the number of records. There is no mentioning regarding the number of records. Now you can easily remember the answer for this question. Okay, please do not forget the answer for this question and this chart also. Next question. A postgraduate researcher is designing a data entry module for his thesis project. So all the following are essential for maintaining the quality of data except. The options are A. Use of legal value and range checks. B. Pilot test of the data entry module before the data collection. C. Is use of sample size calculation software. Or D. Is use of the experienced data entry operators. So all of the following are essential for maintaining the quality of data except. So out of all these four, one is wrong. Let us see the options again. Use of legal value and range checks. Yes, this is a correct statement. Pilot test of the data entry module before data collection. Yes, even this is correct. Use of sample size calculation software. Such sort of software is not available actually, which will calculate the sample size. So this is wrong. And lastly, the use of experienced data entry operators. Yes, even this is correct. So the answer for this question is option number C. Option number C is the answer for our question. Next question. What is a common use of data dashboards in health research? What is a common use of data dashboards in health research? The options are A. To write the research papers. B. To visualize and monitor the data in real time. C. Is to collect the qualitative data. Or D. Is to manage funding. So what is the common use of data dashboards? It is a direct question and the answer for this question is to visualize and monitor the data in real time. Okay. Next question. Which data management practice can help mitigate biases in research? Okay. So options are A. Using a single data source, or B. Implementing randomization in data collection, or C. Ignoring the demographic factors, or D. Relying solely on qualitative data. So at if what sort of a practice can help to decrease the biases in research? We know the answer. Answer is doing randomization in data collection. So therefore answer for this question is option number B, that is implementing randomization in data collection. Next question. Which of the following is a disadvantage of the statistical software EpiInfo? Okay. What is the disadvantage of the statistical software called as EpiInfo? The options are A. It enables a questionnaire design. B. It is built for Windows operating system only. Or C. It is useful for data entry and validation. Or D. It displays location data on the map. So what is the disadvantage of the statistical software EpiInfo? The disadvantage is that this software is built only for Windows operating system. iOS doesn't have this software attachment. So it is built only for the Windows operating system is the answer for this question, and it is a disadvantage of this statistical software called as EpiInfo. Then next question. What does data curation involve? Data curation involves what? Options are A. Collecting data, B. Organizing and maintaining the data for future use, or C. Analyzing data, or D. Reporting the results. So what is data curation? Data curation is nothing but option number B, that is organizing and maintaining the data for future use. This is the answer for this question. Please remember. Next question. What does data integrity referred to in a health research? What do you mean by data integrity? The options are A, the privacy of data, B, the accuracy and consistency of data, C, the accessibility of data, or D, the speed of data collection. So what is data integrity? Data integrity is nothing but it is the accuracy and consistency of data. Accuracy and consistency of data is data integrity. Next question. Which of the following techniques is used to ensure the data quality? To ensure data quality, which of the following techniques is used? Options are A, random sampling, B, data cleaning, C, increasing the sample size, or D, focusing only on quantitative data. So to ensure a good data quality, you always need to do data cleaning periodically. This is a repeated question actually. So you have to do data cleaning, and this is the answer for this question. Coming to the last question of this chapter. Which type of data is typically analyzed using the statistical software? The options are A, qualitative data, B, mixed methods data, C, quantitative data, or D, anecdotal data. So which type of data is typically analyzed using statistical software? Okay, so numbers are involved, so more numbers are wanted. So wherever you have quantitative data, for the quantitative data, it is typically analyzed using statistical software. So with this, we come to the end of the chapter called as data management, which is the 17th chapter. Thank you.